Okay, so I'm going to start winding this up. As anything, whether it's artists, musicians, authors, whatever, as a gallery owner, okay, what advice would you give to artists who, whether it's this gallery or any gallery in general, as far as even new artists, whether they're teenagers or in their 60s, because no matter how old you are, you're always trying something new. What advice would you give to, and as also having the schooling, to artists who, any artists, whether they're new, thinking about trying it, have established themselves or whatever? What advice would you give to people as far as especially on the creativity side?
As a gallery owner, you're saying, or as an artist?
Yeah, both. As an artist and a gallery owner.
Separate hats.
Okay, well, do both.
Okay. As an artist, I just tell people to keep creating. It's the best thing you can do is just make stuff. Even if you fail or quote unquote fail, just keep doing it. That's about the best you can say. Hone your skills. If you don't have skills, you're in trouble. And even abstractionists, they hone their skills. They don't do it because they're lazy. It's a different story altogether. Some people think that, but I think that, like we were discussing before, my customer came in and said, you have to be able to have skill. It doesn't matter if you have a program that makes things simpler. You still have to have the base knowledge. So you have to make sure you possess that as you go out into the professional world. Because if you don't possess that, you're at a deep loss. And don't assume everybody's going to think you're awesome because your mom said you're awesome either. Because that's not the case. That's me moving into the gallery side of things. The gallery side of things, you have to be a professional. Having said that, you can be cool by being professional. A lot of artists, I should say a lot. That's a mistake. Some artists, not all of them, they let their ego and their personality become more important than their work. And gallery owners they don't like to deal with personalities. They just don't. So you better sell a lot if that's the case. If you're a prima donna, that's like one of our rules here.
You better be able to back it up.
Yeah, one of our rules here is we don't deal with personalities.
Right.
There's a long line of artists that want to get in here. They're equally as talented because there's so much talent in Lehigh Valley. So don't make an ass out of yourself. That's like my biggest advice to people who are artists or going to galleries. Like, try to be cool. This person doesn't know you from Adam when you walk in and talk about your art. It doesn't mean that they're going to be a jerk to you. It doesn't mean they're going to be nice to you. Go in there and be a professional. It's just like any other business when you network, because you're selling yourself. You have to be able to convince that person across the counter that you are who you say you are without overdoing it. Like I have people come here all the time. They blow themselves up, say, "Oh, I'm awesome. Like how awesome I am." Like, okay, let me see how awesome you are. So they show me their stuff like that's not all that awesome. No offense to you, but you told me you were awesome. Not that I believe it specifically, because I've been around long enough to know to take it at face value. But you got to be able to back that up.
Right.
And it's probably best not to roll in and go, "Hey, look how awesome I am." It's probably best to go and say, "Hi, how are you?" and have a conversation.
Right.
And act like the person that runs the gallery is a person as well. We're a little different here. I don't know how to say this for other galleries. There's not that many galleries like this in the Valley. The galleries tend to be in Philly and New York, maybe even Doylestown, I don't know, can be a little more standoffish. We're not like that. So you've got to figure out what a gallery is like before you go in and try and bum rush them. But here you can just walk in. We have what we call an open door policy.
Yeah.
But I still expect people to be cool.
Yeah.
It's not so hard to be cool.
Yeah.
Remember, everybody's a person. But like I said, if you're going to be an artist, get ready to market yourself. Get ready to network. You got to be cool. Shake hands. Because whatever your relationship is with the person you're having, that's the relationship you're going to have as a business person.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't build relationships, you are in trouble. So you better be really, really good at art if you can't build relationships. Or you have to
not just on relationships online, but when you go to when you try to, like, selling your work online and selling in a physical gallery, that's not even in the same country, because it seems like you can sell. When you sell it online, you're not dealing with the personal aspect, correct? So much as when you go into a physical gallery.
Yeah, I assume that the artist is here when you're here, but beyond that, it's an artist trying to come into this space and have me show their work. They have to sell themselves to me. Like I said, I don't want to deal with personality specifically. Doesn't mean I don't want them to not have a personality, but I want them to be able to be cool with me, so I don't have to worry about them having a conniption over some ridiculous thing like you hung my piece of art where I didn't want it, where that's actually happened. I'm like, well, that doesn't matter. I'm the curator. I'm going to hang it where I want to hang it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, if I'm hanging it, if you have to look up on the ceiling to see it.
I'm respectful.
Yeah.
It's not my ego. I'm just saying I've been doing it for 10 years. You're an artist. If you don't have a gallery, understand it's going to be hung where I can hang it. So it's just trying to relax, you know what I'm saying? Like, so back to like virtual, what you were saying, virtual versus physical. Yeah, there's a difference. the trick, like I'm saying, is when you meet people, let them think that you're a cool person, and they'll be more attracted to your art. If everybody thinks you're like better term, no offense, a douchebag, they're not going to want to talk to you, and then your art will suffer. I know enough artists who are like that they do fine art, but their attitude towards the general public or the people they're working with is detrimental to their ability to be a professional, and they get, lack of a better term, blacklisted because nobody wants to deal with them. You know, and that's just how that works. You got to be cool.
Okay. Now, one other thing I just thought of that I should try to point out in some of my articles, and even when I just post the photos and video from an art exhibit opening. One thing, and I'm sure it's like this in other areas, I'm just, because I live here in the Lehigh Valley. One thing I love that's really great about the local art galleries and the places where you can see the local art is at least one time at the opening, you can meet and talk to the artists here. You know, how, you know, and I find that very different than like if you're going into a museum, and also like at the local galleries, it's a lot more relaxed versus versus if you're going into a museum to meet somebody at a local gallery, it's a lot more relaxed. Do you think that really helps the artists, the galleries, and the art scene in the area?
With that relaxed approach?
Yeah.
Well, I can only speak for myself. I don't know enough about how the other galleries run themselves.
Okay.
And
well, has that helped you and the gallery?
Sure, but that's also a reflection of our personality.
Right.
Both Alice and I have art backgrounds, so we would hate to think that we were uppity.
Right.
Because we run a gallery. I just don't think that's the way to run a gallery. And, you know, some people, they like to express that panache, like where it's a highfalutin, so people think that increases the value. But this is the Lehigh Valley, so that's not a dismissal of Lehigh Valley, but we're just not New York. I can't walk around with my nose in the air and act like that's something special.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be able to take it down a notch and work with
I mean, I'll go on record and say it that in this area, you know, going to all the different, over the past 2 years, there are art snobs in the area.
Oh, yeah, that happens anywhere. Yeah, new door. It's a new door.
It really opened easy.
Yes.
Okay, we'll take another quick break.